Alexandra Eala.
I think that's pretty close.
Pretty good.
Ready? Ready?
My name is Alexandra Eala. Alexandra Eala.
So it's like,
It's pretty good.
but do we have to say it like it's a question? My name is Alexandra Eala.
I don't know. What is this? Ron Burgundy?
I.
My name is Alexandra Eala. Alexandra Eala.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I gotta say, this is one of the best things about the WTA site, and it really helps us
Are we
out.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, we're live. You want to make clear that was a Ron Burgundy reference and nothing against anyone?
Oh, nothing
Yeah,
against San
I said
Diego.
Ron
We were
Burgundy before. Yeah.
well, thanks for the heads up. Great producing. Welcome back to Served. You're really nailing your job today, Mike. Way to go.
What?
What?
It's what the people want.
I thought we were on like a break.
No, we're back.
I thought we
We
were.
don't have real breaks.
I thought we were. I thought we were full Ross and Rachel.
No, we're good.
We were on a break. So Alexandra.
We'll do it one more time.
Yeah.
My name is Alexandra Eala. Alexandra Eala.
Okay. So we now listen to this, the pronunciation, which by the way is a great feature. I think that's
feature.
what you were getting to, right?
Yes.
Like all the people, I would have said Alexandra Eala, and they're like, there's the Y.
There's no Y.
I know there's no
EA.
Y, but like you're
LA.
supposed to pronounce it like a Y.
I don't know.
Like, how do you pronounce something that you've never heard before correctly every time?
I think we've done good.
Yeah.
I mean, even on Tennis Channel though, they were like Ella, and they were all saying it wrong.
No,
So,
it's not like there have been a spate of Filipino players that we could extrapolate from either. I mean, that's another wrinkle in this story. We have no basis for pronouncing that name.
Give me. You always have some fun little tidbits. Give our listeners a little background. Obviously, the breakout story of the Miami Open was Alexandra Eala playing well, going through, beating Iga Swiatek. Again, we have the picture of her asking for a fan photo. We love that. Played great. Lefty from the Philippines. Give us some tidbits there, JW.
Yeah, she's quite young, as you would infer from a picture with Iga. It's not like Iga's the grizzled veteran that was, Novak's 37 plus. That's not the case here. But no, I mean, this was a wild card. It's a great story. And I think, I think there's sort of the Wikipedia factoids that we can talk about her age, and she's a lefty and she's not a physically imposing player. But I also think there's a bigger story here about talent and mining talent. We talked a few weeks ago about Mira Andreeva, born in the middle of Siberia, basically, and ended up, talent shines through, and she made some career choices. The same case here. I mean, here's a player from Philippines, big country, but more than 100 million people, not a lot of tennis. And she ends up at the Nadal Academy, not like last week, like when she was 12 years old. And look at her now. I mean, she got a wild card into this event. I remember a quick story. I remember a few years ago, an agent who will go nameless was very upset that Miami gave a wild card to an IMG player. Miami owned by IMG. They gave a wild card to an IMG player, and it was a Russian the same week or the same month that Russian had invaded Ukraine. And they were very upset that a Russian player who no one had heard of had gotten this wild card. It was Mira Andreeva. So that wild card.
I'm sure the 14-year-old version of Andreeva had a lot to do.
Yeah, exactly.
With
We're not
Russia invading
today.
Ukraine, by the way.
no politics.
Right. No politics. But no,
it's
you're
not
absolutely
politics.
right. So you anyway, my point is, say this about James and IMG and the wild cards. They are pretty well distributed, because here was a player from the Nadal Academy. I mean, again, nice junior player, but not a whole lot. Her brother played Big Ten tennis. And then she comes out. She beat Iga, and we saw the photo. Before that, though, she beat Ostapenko and Madison Keys. So this is three major champions. To give you an idea of how unexpected this, after this great run, took a set off Pegula in the semis too. I mean, this was not a fluke. I mean, there's real game here. A left-handed opponent who's a good athlete is always going to be tough, but this was really a breakthrough. So there were three matches over three major champions, and then she takes a set off of a top five player in Pegula, and suddenly she does not win the. I don't know if you saw that great scene when she lost the match to Pegula, but she ended up getting this applause and had this grin. If you'd walked in late, you'd no idea who would have won and who would have lost that match. But now we have it's going back to White Lotus. Now we have another member of the cast to watch, because this was really one of those stories that puts a smile on your face, pronunciation notwithstanding.
I think it was just bitter Buffalo Bills fans against Pegula in Miami Stadium or Hard Rock, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And also just like, we need to just say this. the only people that actually deserve a wild card, if Sabalenka has a year off and God forbid something happens and she gets hurt and she comes back, she deserves a wild card. She has earned. Anyone else who's complaining about not getting a wild card, be better. Since this isn't like we're definitely not doing anything political on this show. Since that is the case, I will not say you're not allowed to complain about someone's taking our jobs. Let's compete for them. No one's entitled to anything.
Sports are funny
let's
that way,
compete for it. Yeah, it's so strange. Like, it's almost like we like free markets until they're free markets. We're not doing anything political.
No.
Exactly.
Stop it, Mike.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
We have a young prospect from the Philippines. Not a sentence that many of us thought we would be saying, but here we have a young player to watch. I mean, again, to tell you how far out of the loop, she has this great run, gets to the semis. She moves up to 75 in the world. So, one tournament is not a career make, but it's a great story. This is a real sort of validation. Tony Nadal was there. This is a real validation, a real coup for the Nadal Academy. It's a great coup. I mean, Philippines is really an interesting market. The NBA will tell you that Philippines is like high up on their list of markets to crack for basketball. Why not tennis as well? So this is in lieu of Serena, Roger, Rafa. This is going to be a theme of our podcast the entire year. In lieu of ritual excellence, we have great stories like this, and to me, that's a trade-off we're happy to take.
We also dare say you're hearing a lot of either players training at the Nadal Academy, players being developed at the Nadal Academy. This is kind of sneaky becoming like the old Bollettieri IMG situation, but for like Europe. Like it's
with like a larger test pool.
A lot of people are going over there to train. They got a little something going there. Like, you talk about legacy. He's leaving behind opportunity. I'll tell you that. Rafa is. Like this, the Nadal Academy, it kind of is getting to the point where we're bored when we hear it because it's actually happening more and more and more and more and more.
Well, and it's not geographically restricted either, right? It's not like an American Tennis Academy. He's popping them up.
Yeah, well, I think the main one is probably the one that all of those are kind of coasting off of. I don't know if they're all going to be. I mean, I've seen pictures of this place. It looks absurd. But as far as training base, it just seems like it's possibly the most influential academy on earth right now, or at least trending that way. Which for a while it was like you couldn't even. That wasn't even a conversation, right? It was Bollettieri and Bollettieri and Bollettieri, and you'd have maybe some smaller ones, and Macy, all of a sudden gets these two girls from Compton and, puts his flag in the ground and says, we're great too. But like, this academy is no joke beyond just the name candy of Rafa, right? This isn't like he's on court with all these people. I haven't.
Have you seen it?
I've seen pictures. I haven't been there in person. It looks unbelievable. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been to the one in Mallorca. Yeah. I mean, it's Mallorca is beautiful, but it's not like the. I mean, looks like a tennis. It's actually a nice mix of it's perfectly nice, and there are people there that are just tourists that want to hope to glimpse Nadal, and they pay a lot of money, and they come, and then you've got on the court next to them, it's like Munar, Munar's the one who beat Medvedev. He's
sneaky
playing
with
great. Casper Ruud. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He's playing with Casper Ruud, and next to them is a hedge fund guy from Canada who thinks it's cool to get a T-shirt that says Nadal Academy. It's an interesting place, but no, I think you're right. I think this is really becoming a go-to place for the best players to train.
I'll tell you what, the hedge funder playing 3-5 dingles next to Casper Ruud, one of them is paying to be there. I'll tell you that right now. It's almost like it's good marketing to have Casper hitting next to the hedge funder.